Welcome, dear listeners. Now we shall read page number 39 of the chapter Saviours of the Train in Literature book, English Rules. Let's start reading. I will read here and you will read in your own book simultaneously. Let's start it. Slowly walking down towards the railway line, the tree with the grey leaves bringing up the rear like some old shepherd driving a flock of green sheep. "What is it? Oh, what is it?" said Phyllis. "It's much too magic for me. I don't like it. Let's go home." But Bobby and Peter clung fast to the rail and watched breathlessly, and Phyllis made no movement towards going home by herself. The tree moved on and on. Some stones and loose earth fell down and rattled on the railway metals far below. Dear students, I hope you must have figured out what was happening. Why were trees moving? The trees were moving because of landsliding. The piece of land was moving because of the looseness of soil. Now the trees with grey leaves, they were coming nearer and nearer. They were moving as if some shepherd was driving a flock of green sheep. The trees here are compared to green sheep. Phyllis, the youngest girl amongst three, was wonderstruck. She was full of surprise. What was happening? It was too magical for her. She did not like it and wanted to go home. But Bobby and Peter were watching all this breathlessly. They too were shocked, but they wanted to find out what was happening. They showed no movement. They didn't move to go home. Let's read further. The trees moved on and on. Some stones and loose earth fell down and rattled on the railway metals far below. "It's all coming down," Peter tried to say, but he found there was hardly any voice to say it with. And indeed, just as he spoke, the great rock on the top of which the walking trees were leaned slowly forward. The trees, ceasing to walk, stood still and shivered. Now, dear students, the trees, they were moving towards the railway track. Some stones and loose earth fell down on the railway track. Peter cried, "It's all coming down, see!" But he too was so scared that he could not speak any word. Just as he spoke, the great rock, the walking trees, they stopped. They stopped, they did not move any further. Let's read the last few lines of this page 39. Leaning with the rock, they seemed to hesitate a moment, and then rock and trees and grass and bushes, with a rushing sound, slipped right away from the face of the cutting and fell on the line with a blundering crash that could have been heard half a mile off. A cloud of dust rose up. Dear students, the whole piece of land, it got crashed on the railway track. It made a loud thundering noise and it could have been heard half a mile off. Because of all this, a cloud of dust rose up in the sky. It all got dusty. Children were unable to see each other in that cloud of dust. Thanks for watching the video.